Correlation symbols, high track line, high setting positional levels, measures as position attractions. 1 over pi, the zero line interference, and 1 gravity shift. Recognize the high position location attractions. The allocated line interference is recognize all communication. So whatever happens, location of general happens to you. The high setting and high position location high setting is really in recognition of time. And the recognition location is all levels of time and maintenance line position attraction. So recognizing communications where your eyes feel heavy, or you're getting ringing ears, or your solar plexus are not in position locations of balance, itself has to be a position location at a certain level to connect to the solar system line conditions. Each constellation path is going to be set up to line communication to yourself and each other. You have to recognize all 1 centimeter line position at 1 track setting. Okay, coming in correlation line interference. Each planetary line setting is going to be 1 foot, 12 inches in set locations to your planet locations. The solar line and communication line setting is going to be an infinity cycle. The rotation spin cycle is going to set position location of graph lines. This is going to align its communication system, come to a formation location of solar line stream, and position locations of all levels high setting, into all calculations to ground setting, and a rotation. So all the routes in line communication of space is going to levitate off the high setting position in 10,000 meter track. That's an 8-line setting. Now the atmosphere line position location is going to go into the hemisphere, but the track lines are going to be in hemisync location of the stratosphere. So it's going to be in sequence locations. Planetary surface, rotation spin cycles, and 2 vector line settings in 3 track locations, 4 division line settings, and 5 rotation. 7 correlated line interference is setting position location as 7 bodies of water track lines. Keep you guys in a GPS log setting in high rotation near 12 DNA. The 12 DNA and rotation spin cycle sets line communication system to allocate position of you through space and time, putting you guys in a correlation line setting to communications at 49 line settings into an energy wash, a rainbow wash, and a meteor wash location. Putting your track lines and communications to higher levels of high setting. Really start recognizing what's going on in your body locations. Because remember, it's you understanding the astral travels, the astral connection, astral projections. Understand the projection to all levels of the sun and the moon, the position line track locations. But you're not just dealing with the sun and the moon now. You're going to be tracking line communication, the magnetic line setting. You have your solar system in position locations. Do you look up? There it is. Constellation path, planets, position locations, 12 feet in set lines and high setting locations. Now that 12 feet line setting and set line communication system. 12 seconds of line calculation streams. Now that sets line position of 24,000 line settings. We're going to set up each bridge to each planetary center line and position location of 12 DNA. The track interference is line communication. Each planet is going to have 1224 in set lines of 4872 and 144 DNA to track locations. This is a process that everybody's coming into line connections now. Space anomaly is now shifting. We're going to set laser grids, sky nets, and sky grid line settings into each planet rotation surface. This is going to allocate positional line communication system. Lights and track lines and high center location of sky grids and everything the cloud line channel is going to change perimeters. The perimeter in the line communication system is allocating the line setting. So each planet in your set location is going to have all intelligence into its civilization. Tracking line interference locations and position locations. Now, recognizing communication line settings is allocate position location of space and time. The measure allocation line interference get you guys in a 24 wash setting location in infusion. This sets a line communication system to your electrical line graph that sets a solar stream in rotation to its gravitational pull. That gravitational pull goes to its correlating line interference. Remember, you're dealing with 12, 24, 48, 72, and 144 DNA. The track line sending line interference has to recognize you in the process correlation system to laser direct line setting. Sky grids, Skynet, sign line interference, is cycle line in position location of psychosis is the psychological of its understanding location. The placebo cortex and the streamlines in position of the cerebral is going to reset position of track locations. Okay, that's what's happening right now. Get you guys in your solar system location constellation path. Double helix line connection high system. So you're in position to the inner line setting, which is all levels of consciousness, right? Because you're not a formation of a body, you're a formation of 100% consciousness. That's the only way you can get into mind of travel locations to its set system, to its higher self, and its avatar location. Okay? It's extremely complicated what we're coming into now. Recognizing timelines, high line interference, high track locations of position. All right. So as we go into 4-line setting, we have to set up position locations. Okay, setting line communication sets. Okay, so we bracket location. Okay, so as we bracket location, we go into 1, 2. All right, so that's 2-line top position. Now, that line's position location is square, and line position locations into a triangle set location. Okay, adds the 2-line settings and 1 position locations. They come into the center line of a box. Box locations opens all track location settings. Right? Center calculations streamlines in set location of 0, 0 and track location. Travels line conditions into a box line setting. Okay, so as the box line settings come down in position locations, now this is correct. It comes to 6. This is where it positions its power over pi. Okay, power over pi. We'll get into that line communication, what it means. Power over pi is a recognition line setting. It's a solar stream in set location. It's an energy light in a paddle line in circle location. It's a high generation streamline in rotation interference. It's a high position location, another solar line setting. It's another solar interference line position location ground setting. Okay, so recognizing the power is recognizing the communication of clock lines. So you got a 12-line signal and a 24 graph line in a 48 window set locations, setting direct location into a 72 line setting into 144 line communication lines, high center location of DNA, a track location setting. Done by equation. All right, setting this up is really recognizing the communication of formulas. Now, equal line communication is 12-line track. Each planetary surface sets position location on line setting. So we go into 4 lines, into equal locations of another planet centering. It sets 2 planet locations, 2 plus 2 line interference, and 2 line setting into a track location setting. All right, setting position locations comes into position location to a high center location of satellite, and set location of 2 set lines of 2 tither, and rotation to a new graph line rotation interference. Setting position locations to 2 panels that operate streamlines into its position. See the intelligence? All right, so setting position of track lines. Now we got the 4-line setting with circulates rotation, travel line communication of 12 DNA. It rotates its system. Allocate line center, 2-line and track interference, so 2 position, 2 position, 2 position. So that's 2, 4 line position, line connections of 6, position of 8. 8 central line connections infinity changes position location of directions. Now, changing position location is another 0-line rotation interference. Setting correlation system comes into all positions of 4 and line communication of 9. Setting position line conditions, 2, an energy wash in high center locations, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in 12 location settings. Now, the rotation interference, we set up graph line streams 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, in set location settings, right? Energy dome, line stream, line communication system, power generation line setting, high line interference, time position, time sequence, time calculations, and time line interference. Sets position locations over 4, over 9 line rotation interference, and set location high setting. So we got 3 black holes, line rotation, color and position, track side high setting, open all line rotations, change in line interference, line position location, energy light setting, and rotation to circle line rotation at 3 set locations. All right, see the set location high setting, location energy graph line condition of dome setting, setting rotation interference. Now the triangle lines its position locations, hall levels to its pyramid line rotation for higher levels of travel communication setting. So we got 4-line centered energy wash line interference of pyramid line rotation position of track lines and high center line position location sets 2 over measure, 2 over pi, 2 calculations of power over 1, 1 line communication line, electrical line interference, high position location levels, line communication grounds, teleportation line interference, telegraphing line interference, high position location systematic line, position of bandwidth communication line, streaming interference location, position location calculation, sending correlation line interference, high position location attraction. Done by equation. All right. Planetary surface, line connecting high settings, high position of track lines. So we got 3 lines, solar lines, stream lines, and high center interference, setting direct location to its position. All right, so we go through the solar line settings of 4, 4 track line setting line position 9. 9 is set lines in interference. 4 equals 9 line interference. Bracket location of 9, line conditions of 8, and position of 7, 6, and 5 line setting. Bracket line communications into 2 panels of a matrix extreme setting. That rotates its 8-line setting, sets infinity cycle line communication. 7-line interference sets a theta line rotation interference and set location setting. 6 in position locations comes into water containment line interference of energy wash line rotation and set locations. Into 5, into timeline sequence line position of 3 measures in correlation system to set lines of 6 graph and calculation. Down by equation. All right. So getting in position locations, you have to start recognizing everything in the formation, right? So once you get into formation line conditions, it really gets you a better understanding how to get yourself into high levels of channel, teleportation streams, teleportation lights, teleportation crop circles, streamlines, Y line settings. So we go on Y line interference, line position locations into factor line communications, line connection high system, and line rotations, one line connections over pi, setting line position locations, into Z2 line setting, two line setting rotation interference, formula communication system, and 000 track location of flux capacitor high setting and high position. Now the high position location comes into one sonar, two sonar, three set location and line connections to the sun position locations to the moon setting rotation. All right, down by equation. All right, getting in position line traction is really understand how to use the 4-line settings to your 9s. So we come in a 4-line setting, line interference of 0 line position 9. So the 9 comes back into 0, equals locations into 4, equal locations into 9 setting. So we take the 4 and the 9 line rotation interference, high position location to its infinity cycle of 8 line rotation position attraction. All right, so as we take that, we take the another 8 position attract lines, changes its position locations high setting, puts everything in position locations, all levels of rotation. Calculation line interference. So recognizing communication is really important to understand. The 8 communication. 3 central line conditions of 8. So 8 line position of 9. 9 sits at the top. 7 is our cross line setting, and 6 sets position. So we take the 6 over here, 7 over here, 9 at the bottom, and 8 in position of the 8 center line position. This travels its position locations into 8 position line tracks, forcing line communication of 4 9 line settings into 6 position location of 7, and line connections of 8 position line position of 8 set location. Done by equation. All right. Getting into central calculations of communication. Let's see here, guys. Let's see where we are. Okay, TAR calculations of levels. I said about airbender. I send my position locations. Tina. Okay, communications line Belinda. My connections Heather. Guardian, Johnny. Val, Chris, David. Nikki. Connections of Geneva. I know you guys got a lot of questions after this line set. Sam, I'll say Gypsy, even though she's not here. She feels at locations. And that's the thing. You don't have to be in school. You're already in school. You don't need to be in school, but you need to be in school because you're already in school. So even if you're not in school, you're in school. Earth school is you. Okay? But my school is a guidance. But you're on the Earth perception line connection trying to understand you through levels of consciousness to survive anything in that set line communication. You have to recognize what you're doing through vibration. All right, Laura, calculation streamlines, high position location, high setting, putting track lines in high position. All right. So Ash, so as we get into that rhythm pattern, becoming a communication line setting, opens all position location attractions. So we get a 0 line rotation in 3 set locations. Right? It gets easier as you go line communication. Line conditions of Z line is Z line 1 equals line position. Z equals line 1. Now the 1 line is position of over line position locations of pi. Pi is the recognition line condition high setting, indirect location setting, indirect location interference, into 2 tracks, into 3 settings, into 5 position locations. All right, so you take the 2 line, you set lines in high position at all levels. This comes into line communications in position of Pluto in a set location line. Now that line sets a line communication high setting into Jupiter rising in set locations. Now the communication line stream sets an information panel to its rotation service. It sets a spin cycle line connections of 3 set line interference to the communication electrical line connections, high line center line T formation line interference, in direct locations to its pyramid line rotation, setting correlation system, another pyramid line rotation, to another pyramid line rotation, to another pyramid line rotation, to another pyramid line rotations. 4 track line settings and high line in the high setting through over pi and position location in 1 equal line measure. Setting line interference and line position location into line setting at Z1 in a set location again, 1, 1, 1, 1, in line position, bracket line communication, line conditions of 1, 1, 1, 1, bracket line communication line setting is 7, 7, 7, 7, box line position of track locations. Done by equation. All right. So as we get into that higher level setting, you have to really understand the frequency patterns. The recognition line conditions high setting is all levels of U and track locations. Better understand these things because it's all connected to your planetary surface and rotation set lines into 4 track locations, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So as we come into the energy wash, 1 line interference, 1 equals line position of 1 line center, line at Z, line positions into box location time sequence. Now, getting into position of 2 lines at center, line of rotation interference, and Fibonacci swirl sets a rotation spin cycle to 4 cross lines of circle line rotations in position of traction. Done by equation. So as we go on the swirl lines, the line communications in 1 line and measure sets 1 centimeter line position of pi. 1 centimeter. Okay, centimeter line position location of 12. 12 line settings, line position of 1 foot. 1 foot sets line position location track lines in set locations, equal line connections across lines into 4 line positions in set locations, into a diamond core line shift in rotation. Setting line communication into a 12 line in position location to another 24 set lines into line position location 48, 72 line positions into 144 equals into DNA track line in high setting position of track location. Down by equation. All right, so as we come into calculation line setting, planetary surface line rotation, 1, 2, 3, 4, sets positions. So we got 4 line setting, 4 activation, 4 streams, and 4 rotations. All right, so that's 4 lines equal lines of 1. 4 lines equal location of 2, 4 lines equal locations of 3, and 4 lines equal locations of 4. So we take the 1 line setting, we take the 2 line setting, we take the 3 line setting and set locations. 3 line set locations, and we take the 4 line set line position, box this location, and line connections of pi. Recognize line center, factor, line communication setting, and rotation interference. Set locations. Done by equation. All right. Getting in position locations, when you understand more lines, you have to really recognize the communications, more levels. The high lines you channel, you jump scar screen sets. Now, jumping scar from 1 position location to 1 planet line setting, you have to understand the frequency location of patterns. You got a planet rotation interference. Let's say location of Saturn. There's Saturn, right? Now, Saturn has a spherical sphere line interference of 3 set locations in set location. Now, the recognition communication is sonar line interference. It sets position locations into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 line set lines and high line position of track lines. Center correlation system, a UFO comes in position of track lines, sending correlation into the center position of track line connections. Centers line its communication and travels through the sonar line rotations in position location high setting. Okay? Then it goes line interference in position location to the sun in set location to the moon set locations into set lines of 6 and line position 8 in set location setting and direct location interference. Done by equation. So understanding the line setting is really recognizing communication. Now, when you understand the communication, you understand sonar, is it very important to understand the planet setting to your solar line conditions that's connected to your constellation path. Constellation path to 2 track line setting in position locations into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 line sets and high line interference. Travel communication system in direct locations, in position line direct location, your DNA, and position locations to your line settings to your tracker location high setting rotation. Setting track lines and high line interference and 12 line center rotations in set locations. So another 12 line interference in set locations, equal conditions of 24. 24 line setting, circle line rotation interference, travel position location, travel line connections, getting position locations at 48, getting to 72, and getting into 144 equal lines of track location. Set lines high setting. Done by equation. Right? So setting up the DNA graph line and schematic line position location of cloud lines, setting direct lines and signals and high setting position location of track interference, setting line communications into placebo. Now we got a placebo line interference. So the P line centers lines perception locations, equal line conditions of pi. Pi line centers overline its rotation interference and position location to its box system location. Now, the box line center line interference is 6-line calculation line interference. So we have a UFO line rotation, setting correlation system to new ground line center of 6 position into 5 lines into 1 line setting rotation. Okay, setting correlation system, track line connections into a box line rotation in set location, done by equation. Okay, recognizing timeline streams now is the setter in line communications, how you set forms of energy wash lines. So that's 24 line communication, line communications of energy, rainbow, in set locations, into high center, electrical line interference, in set positions to meteor shower line interference, sets position location of track lines, into 12 line DNA track location system. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. 16 line position of all lines at 17,000 line streams in set locations per measure, per square, per mile. They allocate line interference sets position location of traction. Down by equation. All right. Energy wash streams, recognizing communication line setting. Setting position location of track lines in infinity 8 in cycle line high rotation position location high system. Indirect line setting. Rotation spin in set locations. High interference influx capacitor calculation. Center correlation new ground setting to a rotation spin cycle in set locations. Setting line interference on magnetic high wave formation lines. Circle line rotation interference in 1, 2, 3 set location of triangles. Setting communication to a diamond core line. Shift its rotation to its orb line rotation interference in a millennium status quo. Setting direct line connections. See the intelligence? Now, setting position line direct locations, really understand how to use the graph line streams. Setting position of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Crossing stream lines and set location of ground lines. Center rotation spin cycles and set location of ground lines and cross line streams line position locations. Also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Setting magnetic highway information into circle line rotation into one center calculation streamline and set locations. Done by equation. So that's 2 graphs in a solar line and magnetic highway information channel and an intelligent line interference in position location to hemisync line interference, line communication of comets, high line interference, and Haley calculation line interference, meteor shower correlation system, setting direct line setting. All right, symbolism, track lines, high position at all levels, high interference, high track location, and position high system. Now you got the 4 line channels, a line consists of 9 sets line position locations, so that's 9 over 9, setting correlation setting. Okay, so 9 sets position locations into high center line interference, line communication of alpha, okay, setting position location Centauri. So the Centauri line rotation interference is set line position location of track lines is 2 bracket location settings. Done by equation. All right. Alpha Centauri is a planet setting. It's an energy wash interference. It tracks its location when it comes to a higher setting. We understand the plus line setting. Now you come into plus line, equal line condition all levels. It gets more complicated to its position location of track lines, setting direct location into a position line setting to recognize communication to its program locations into 2 position line connections into 3 weather pattern lines in a line communication. Console calculations over plus into 2 line interference and positional box, setting correlations downshift into 2 set location. Now, setting position on track lines, a Fibonacci swirl jumps across his string, setting line interference of another double helix rotation setting. So the double helix line interference is 2 over 3 in set locations into high setting. That puts 2 into 3, 3 into 3, and 3 set location to 3, and 3 set location to 3, into diamond core shift line and streamline position. Line connecting high setting. Done by equation. All right. So getting into line communication is really understanding your energy wash lines. Okay, so we got a meteor shift line and rotation. Okay, setting correlation system into 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 set locations, right? All line connections, high setting and position of track lines. Ground heights, high lines, crop circle line and rotations, ground surface, crevices, line connection, high setting, and position of track line. Done by equation. All right, so as we come into line communication, the 24 line centers of wash lines, they're all set up. Now getting in that track line interference is understanding a new ground line setting and our new power line rotation to a magnetic highway information. Setting correlation system in position location of track lines and position location of tracks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 line setting in the same direct locations. Crossing signals into back force line connection to 12 line setting stream interference 1, 2, 3, 4 in set location setting. setting direct lines into 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 line set and set line rotation. Setting correlation to a new circle line rotations, to a new flux capacitor position, to a line communication of 4 into 9 channels and set lines in high setting in set location into a position line track lines in high setting. High rotation and 4 line rotations coming into the same measure in set location high setting interference. Setting direct lines into set location another line communication into another line communications into 4 box channels and set location of theta into higher calculation, higher streamline rotation position attraction. Done by equation. All right. So getting position locations, guys. This is where it gets really interesting. Really understand the concentration set lines where it comes in position location. Really understand the opening sequence line connections to position attraction. Getting you guys ready to get into your timelines all at once. Simultaneously delivering frequencies in 2 set locations. So instead of circle line rotations and Fibonacci's going this way and that way, you're going to have spin cycles going this way and that way, one way and the other way, one way and the other way. So it's coming in an infinity loop line rotation. Okay, the center calculations of your Earth has to be at a certain perception line setting. 10,000 feet up in line interference, each country setting, in line communications into 196 line condition, country interference, in line conditions in 4 line settings, in set location of 3, in set lines of 6, in position of 8, 10 line setting, into position of 12, in set location setting line rotation interference. So getting into 10 into 12 position locations is all levels high center locations into 6. Now the 6 line communications comes in position location cross line stream. Cross line streams is set lines of communications into 4 lines and line consists of 8 into 2 set locations into 2 thumb line rotations, indirect locations to a position lines of a new diagonal core shift and rotation surface. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Setting correlation line stream and set line position. So 1 over measure, 1 calculation over pi. Getting in a direct signal really sets position, location, and tone setting. Getting direct line signals puts everything into pyramid line rotations. So we'll start with the 3 set location. 3 set here, 3 set here, 3 set here, 3 set here, and 3 set here. Okay, so that's 3 over, 3 under, 3 across, and 3 behind setting in set locations. Down by equation, right? So the 3 line setting is set outline interference of 4, 4 line position location of 9. Set lines of 4 line setting, 4 line centers of 3, 3 line keynotes high system, positive over negative line position of 4, 3 line position of another 3, heart, mind, and soul, setting calculation line center line position location of 4, line connections 3 equals line position location of 1, 1 equals line 4. So we got 4 line channels, 4 streamline position, or 4 activation line connections, in 1 panel operation of the matrix streamline in set locations, 4 calculations, 4 line settings, 4 divisions, and 4 set location. Done by equation. Hold on a second. Okay, so getting track setting is really recognizing communication of time. Now, the line communication sets line connections all levels. This opens up all provision to set locations, all right? So, the 24 line settings to the energy wash line interference is set up position of 4 over 9 locations. Now, you have to really understand how to use the power direction of time setting. This opens up more levels of U and track locations, all right? So the 4 line setting to line conditions of 9 is all set up position of track lines into 9 set lines and high interference. Now we take line communication into 7 line position location of 12 line set location of 5. So we take the 5 line rotation to position of 7 line position of 12 and set location setting. The line conditions DNA line rotation interference is 7 locations into 5, which is 12 line setting high interference and 5 location of 7 position location of 12, and set lines to new DNA track locations to new energy wash in the high setting locations of 49 systems. Done by equation. That's it. It's all done. It's all set up, guys. It's all set up. Okay? It's all good. All right? So we got 33 line settings and 1 line setting and 19 position attractions. So we're all good position. All right. If you have any questions on that line communications, let me know. Okay. So I'll give you guys, well, it's only 11 setting, right? So everything's fast tracking very quick, very fast. But there's a lot of things that just happen right now. So your body's just getting used to the frequency patterns, the correlation system, the 4 generation streamlines and set location 9. So it sets high position location track interference. So we get in position location timelines all at once as the tomorrow line signals sets its position locations to setting up your solar system. Okay. Talk to you soon. Adios.